This is the continuation of our STP lesson. The previous video, we broke down what segmentation, targeting, and positioning is. So from a definition point, you understand what it is and why you need it in terms of understanding who your consumer is and how to better target them and how they perceive your brand. I feel we've gotten those definitions and logic out of the way. But the big problem or challenge that most of us have is how to apply frameworks within the context of our assessments or exams. For those of you doing CIM, you need to pay attention because I know that this is another CIM year and a lot of you are preparing for different exams that require the application of frameworks. And from previous students, we always get feedback with regards their results, performance, and how disappointed they got when they had to retake exams or when they feel, oh, I deserved a merit, I deserved a distinction, but I got a pass or I got a borderline grade like 59. And it's quite disheartening considering the amount of effort or the amount of money that was spent. So I'm going to be giving you some kinds of feedbacks that you could get from the examiners and how you could have done things better. So please pay attention because this will be very helpful. Now, imagine that an examiner says something like, you are too descriptive and you're not analytical, because your tutors will always tell you, try not to be too descriptive, right? Be more analytical with your choices or with your responses. What is the examiner suggesting to you, or what is your tutor trying to say to you? You explained what STP is, yeah? But you didn't show any maybe choices that were made or why they were made or why they even matter. So let's say you said something like the market was segmented by age, income, and lifestyle. That is just too basic. Let's say you just get 2 points for that. But imagine how much points you would get if you said the market was segmented by age and lifestyle because younger consumers value convenience and are more likely to respond to digital-first positioning. Now, this is you reasoning and not just making a list. And the examiner is more likely to be more generous with marks and throw in another 10 points because you've gone all out to give some more context as to the why. Now, another feedback could be segmentation lacks justification. What does this mean? So let's say like you've named segmentation variables, but you didn't explain why those segments are meaningfully different, for instance. So let's say you said the company segmented the market demographically. But you could have said demographic segmentation was used because income level directly influences purchase frequency and price sensitivity. You see, the marker is going to be more excited with this because you have gone above and beyond to explain the why, and there's so much intellectual thought that has been put into that response. Another example, feedback could be target market is too broad. My goodness, this happens in everyday life, even within marketing agencies or companies. You'd see where a person can say something like the target market is all consumers between, let's say, 18 and 70. And I'm like, really? You can't target 18 to 70-year-olds because this age group, the different age groups caught up in between that, Gen Alpha, Gen Z, Millennials, Baby Boomers, Gen X, they all don't think or purchase the same way. You could just say something like the target market is urban professionals aged 25 to 35 that have like a higher disposable income and value time saving solutions. Broad targeting equals weak strategy. Just know that and have peace. Another mistake is, like when they tell you something like positioning is unclear or feature based. What is the examiner saying to you? You describe the product, not how it is perceived relative to competitors. Now, one thing that you must understand is don't just describe your product when you're trying to position it. You get if you say something like the brand is positioned as high quality, what does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything. Against if you say the brand is positioned as a premium time-saving solution for busy professionals, differentiating itself through convenience rather than price. This is more wholesome. This is giving the need point. This shows the pain points that the product addresses, and it speaks to the value of the product. So the marker knows that you understand what positioning and consumer perception means. That positioning equals perception, not just features, right? So lastly, I just say, for instance, they could still tell you something like your STP steps are not linked. Now, this is, for me, an ultimate disaster, because if you treat your STP in silos, the marker is also going to be confused. You need to link everything up in such a way that it has a logical flow, right? I mean, without giving you so much to digest, I'm hoping that I've been able to open your mind a little bit to see where you had made some mistakes. And for those of you who haven't done the exams yet, where not to err, right? So keep reading, keep having an open mind. And till we do this again, stay sharp, stay curious, and bye for now.